Welcome back to Rissy Reacts on another messy Monday. Y'all, we have some juicy stories to get into today, so I'm not even going to waste y'all time. Let's get into the first story. So, story one is titled, My Husband is Working Late at the Office, but his DoorDash account just ordered dinner for two at the Hilton. So my husband's been pulling these emergency shifts for the last month. He's a project manager, and he says that the new launch is just killing his schedule. I've been a very supportive wife, keeping his dinner warm and not complaining when he gets home at midnight. Tonight, he called me at 7 p.m. and says, Babe, I'm going to be here until at least 1 a.m. Don't wait up. I'll just grab a salad from the vending machine. I felt bad for him. I also sent him an Uber gift card until I heard my phone buzz. We share a DoorDash account. I see a notification. Your order from Sakana Sushi is on the way. Here's the thing. My husband hates sushi. He says the texture of raw fish makes him gag. He ordered a Valentine's deluxe platter. On a random Tuesday, 2 orders of spicy tuna, and this is the kicker, a specific request for 2 sets of chopsticks and an extra ginger. The delivery address wasn't his office. It was the Hilton downtown, room 612. I waited 10 minutes and then I texted him, Hey honey, did you find anything to eat? He replied instantly, Yeah, just eating a sad ham sandwich at my desk now. Miss you. The lying is absolutely pathetic. I'm sitting here on our porch looking at a receipt for a romantic sushi dinner for two while he tells me he's eating a ham sandwich at his desk. I checked the office parking lot through our shared Tesla app. His car isn't there. It's at the Hilton. I haven't called him yet. I'm just staring at the delivered status on my screen. It's like my entire marriage is just a placeholder for whatever is happening in room 612 right now. Okay, that's the end of the first story. And first of all, this man has way too many shared accounts to be trying to live a double life. Because DoorDash snitched on you, and Tesla snitched on you. At this point, technology is really trying to save this woman. And the part that's really getting me is that he doesn't even like sushi. So she already knew that that food wasn't even for him. Then she opens the order and sees a Valentine's platter, 2 orders of spicy tuna, and 2 sets of chopsticks. Come on now. Who's the second set of chopsticks for? But honestly, none of that even matters once we get to the address because we're supposed to be at work until 1 o'clock in the morning, right? But dinner is being delivered at room 612 at the Hilton, and your car is at the Hilton too, on top of that? What explanation could this man possibly give her at this point? And then to top it off, she gave him an opportunity to be honest with her. She gave him basically an out by asking him, Did you find something to eat? Instead, he created an imaginary ham sandwich that he's not even eating. Now you're sitting at a hotel eating sushi with somebody else while your wife thinks you're at work, struggling, and eating a sad ham sandwich. That's what makes it even worse to me, the lying. Like you're not just hiding something, you're actively creating lies while she's sitting at home feeling sorry for you. I mean, personally, once I saw the hotel address and she saw that the car was sitting at the Hilton, I don't think there's really much left, to discuss with him. Because now you have receipts, literal receipts, okay, from DoorDash. But in this situation, let me know down below what y'all would have done. Are y'all calling him immediately? Are you waiting for him to come home and seeing how long he's actually going to keep this lie up? Or are you going to be pulling up to the Hilton? Because room 612 is looking real tempting right about now. Story 2 is titled, Wait, how does your best man sleep with your wife for 2 years? Okay, I just found out that my best man and my wife have been sleeping together for 2 whole years. This guy stood right next to me at our wedding and gave a toast about how we were made for each other while he was already seeing her behind my back. I feel like such a massive idiot for trusting either of them. They would sit at our dinner table and laugh at my jokes while probably having their feet touching under the table or some sick stuff like that. No one told me anything. Not one person in our friend group seems to have noticed anything, or maybe they just didn't want to be the one to break the news. I found out because my buddy left his phone unlocked at the gym and a message from her popped up that was so graphic it made me want to throw up. I mean, the layer of betrayal is just incomprehensible to me right about now. How do you even move on from something like this? Everything in my house feels like a lie. Every photo on the wall from our wedding day just looks like a stage play where everyone knew the script but me. I'm just sitting in my car right now because I can't even look at the bed we shared. He was the guy I called when I had a problem, and she was the person I thought I would grow old with. Now they're both dead to me. I don't even think I can trust a single soul after this. Now, I believe that this is a definitely a different type of betrayal because not only did your wife cheat on you, she cheated on you with your best man, who's probably your best friend. Not to mention that this went on for not 1 but 2 years. The 2 years is what really gets me because that's not even one drunken night. That's not one bad decision. That's two people who are repeatedly making the decision to betray you over and over and over again behind your back. And to know that they were both doing this and she still decided to marry you and have a wedding is just pure evil. Imagine standing next to this man on one of the biggest days of his life, giving a speech about how he and his wife are made for each other. Meanwhile, you know that you are sleeping with his wife. I don't even understand how his friend was able to stand there and look that man in his eye. Not to mention, you've got to think about all the, regular day moments of him just hanging out with his best friend. How many times was this man at their house? How many times did he call his best friend about advice on his marriage? And then there's this friend group. Oh, there's this friend group, okay? He says nobody told him anything. It's either maybe they genuinely didn't know, but come on. I mean, 2 years, I would definitely be wondering who knew what. Because somebody knew something, somebody saw something, a gesture, something that looked inappropriate. Because after finding out that his wife and his best friend were capable of a betrayal like this, I would definitely start questioning everybody at this point. And I can definitely understand why he's saying that he'll never trust anybody again. Because he didn't just lose his wife at this point, he lost his best friend at the exact same time. The person that you would normally call, when your marriage is falling apart is your best friend. But instead of his best friend actually being there for him in a moment like this, he's actually the person who helped destroy his marriage. So, based off of this story, let me know what you guys think below. Who betrayed him worse, his wife or his best friend? Story 3 is titled, My Wife Tried to Convince Me Her Baby Was Mine. The DNA test changed everything. I, 31 male, was married to my now ex-wife, 29 female, for 5 years. I thought I had a solid marriage. I worked full time while she finished school, and we were even talking about starting a family. About 8 months ago, I started noticing little things. She became super protective of her phone, was studying late several nights of the week, and if I questioned anything, she'd tell me I was insecure or controlling. Everything came crashing down when I found hotel receipts with her name on them that had been paid for by my boss through his company account. I confronted her, and after hours of lying, she finally admitting she's been sleeping with him for months. I moved out that weekend and I filed for divorce. About 6 weeks later, she called me crying and she told me that she was pregnant. She insisted that the baby was mine. Both of our families immediately started telling me that I needed to step up and be there for my child. The timeline just didn't make sense, so I told her I'd gladly accept the responsibility if we did a DNA test first after the baby was born. She got angry and accused me of not trusting her, but eventually agreed. Fast forward, after the baby was born, the DNA results came back. I wasn't the father. My boss was. That one DNA test basically destroyed the fantasy they'd built. His wife found out during the divorce proceedings, divorced him immediately, and his company fired him after an internal investigation uncovered multiple inappropriate relationships with employees. Meanwhile, I focused on myself. I got back in the gym, earned new certifications, switched careers, and nearly doubled my income within a year. A few months ago, my ex reached out saying she made the biggest mistake of her life and asked if I could talk. I simply replied. The DNA test answered more than one question, and then I blocked her. Last I heard, she's raising a child alone because my former boss disappeared as soon as child support became real. I never really imagined losing my marriage would end up being the best thing that ever happened to me. Am I crazy for being glad of her struggle? Like, I'm glad karma came back to get her ass. Okay, now in this story, there's so many layers to this. First of all, cheating on your husband's already a bad idea. But then cheating on your husband with his boss? Then on top of that, you're sleeping with this man without any type of protection. You get pregnant, and then you try to convince your husband that this baby was his. I mean, I can't make this stuff up. And then when your husband asks for a DNA test, you have the audacity to be upset with this man. I 100% agree with what your husband was saying. In order for him to step up and take care of any child that is his, he needs a DNA test. And I couldn't imagine what this man is going through. He has his family yelling at him, her family yelling at him, talking about he needs to step up and take care of his responsibility. Imagine if he let everybody pressure him into ignoring his own instincts, okay, and taking care of this child that's not even his. Then the results come back and he's not the father. But then the story gets even messier because the boss has his own wife too. So now his marriage is falling apart. Then his job investigates him and apparently finds out that, this wasn't the only inappropriate relationship with an employee that he has had. So his boss was just out here causing destruction everywhere in everybody's life. Meanwhile, the lady's husband removes himself from the situation and he works on himself. He changed his careers, he gets his certification, and he almost doubles his income, which I know she was probably trying to steal. And then here she comes trying to crawl back to him, talking about, can we talk? Ain't nothing to talk about. Saying that she made the biggest mistake of her life. Yeah, you did. But his response was perfect. The DNA test answered more than one question, and then he blocked her. Good for you, sir. He moved on from her, he improved his life, and he didn't cause her situation. She caused her situation. Those were consequences from the decisions she made. So, what do y'all think on this one? Is he wrong for getting a little tiny bit of satisfaction out of karma coming back around? Or after everything that she did to him, is that a completely normal feeling? Story 4 is titled, My Girlfriend is Mad I Told Her Parents About Her Cheating. Okay, so this is a weird one. My girlfriend Ava cheated on me about 6 months ago. I found out through a mutual friend. It was a one time thing, she said. She was drunk and she regretted it immediately. We decided to work through it and things have been okay since then. We moved past it, or so I thought. Last weekend, her parents were in town. for her younger sister's graduation. We were all at dinner, and her dad made a joke about how Ava always gets her way. And without really thinking, I blurted out, yeah, except for that time she cheated. Everybody at the table went silent. Ava looked at me like she was going to spontaneously combust. Her parents were just staring at me. Her mom finally asked what I was talking about. So I explained it really briefly, like it happened a few months ago, and we're past it now. Ava got up from the table and went to the bathroom. She didn't come back out for like 15 minutes. Her parents were asking her a ton of questions about it. They were absolutely shocked. They had no idea. When Ava finally came back, she didn't say a word to me for the rest of the night. She barely spoke to her parents either. The next day, she blew up at me. She said I had no right to tell them. She said that it was private and I humiliated her in front of her family. Now she's saying that she needs space and I might have ruined everything. I honestly didn't think it was a big deal since we worked through it. I thought it was just a random comment. Now I'm wondering if I messed up badly. Was I wrong for telling her parents? Honestly, when it comes to cheating, we need to bring back public shaming, period. Because at the end of the day, she did cheat. That's what happened. She's embarrassed about it, especially for her parents to know about her intransgressions. But she really can't control how somebody else reacts to something that she did. At the same time, I guess I can understand that she's angry about how they found out. A family dinner for your sister's graduation probably wasn't the correct atmosphere to bring something like that up. This one I'm a little conflicted on, so let me know what you guys think. Was he wrong for telling her parents? Does choosing to forgive somebody mean that you should keep the fact that they cheated private? Or does she really just have to be a big girl, put her big girl panties on, and deal with the fact that her actions might eventually come to light? I want to know where you guys stand on this one. Alright, y'all, that's it for today's stories. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you come back next week for another Messy Monday because you already know there's always more mess to get into. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!